All right, so we've got, we're going to go through the command injection vulnerability really quickly just so I can like show it for real. We've got one last, like literally 1 or 2 slides to go through. And then we're going to actually look at a challenge from Seesaw this past weekend. Actually one that I wrote called Little Query. We're going to just kind of walk through the first part of that. So, we have a form that is going to ping an IP address. If we try and ping, actually, now that in retrospect this may not have been the best demo since NYU blocks most outgoing ICMP, but let's see if Google's pingable. It is, good. Okay, that's kind of iffy. So, you know, here's our output from ping, works as you would expect. If I zoom out a little bit, you know, that's exactly what you would see out of a terminal. So, you know, if we perhaps don't want to just ping 8888, you know, so first of all, let's just see, you know, if we have an extra quote. Okay, so something exploded. Presumably, you know, we're either in quotation marks or we started a new quote and then didn't finish it, or some, you know, we have some kind of syntax error. Again, it's a very similar like trial and error method to discovering SQL injection, like where you are in a statement. So you know, if we just do a semicolon, though, we can see this. So this still works, and we aren't trying to ping 8.8.8.8 semicolon. So in theory. Yeah, so in theory, you know, if we open up an actual terminal, let me open up one that you can hopefully actually read. If we try and ping 8.8.8.8 with a semicolon in quotes, that's what we would expect, right? Because this is not a valid host or IP address to actually ping. So odds are good that in this case, since we can put a semicolon and not have any adverse side effects, that we aren't actually in any quotations at all. And I can tell you for a fact that, you know, we are not. So, you know, at this point, are spaces an issue? Well, let's just try ls. Well, no, there's index.php, so this is a very simple one. We don't even have any, you know, anything really preventing us from just starting our own command in here. So, you know, I'm not going to nuke my entire file system, but we can, you know, cat out index.php or whatever we want, and you can see, well, there's our code in there. Actually, this brings up a good point by accident. You'll notice that in the normal view, we just see our form again, which looks a little bit weird at first, but PHP code ends up actually being displayed as comments by browsers. So even if you don't seemingly have like code here, be sure to look at the source code that be sure to look at view source with the data that you get back from the server, because the number of times where something has been in a comment or just in code that like I've missed because I didn't look at source, it's way too high. But yeah, this is something to keep note of. But yeah, so you know, at this point we can do whatever we want. We have complete command injection anywhere, and you know, we're running as whatever user this is running as. I actually forget it's probably running as my own user, so I can read whatever files I normally could. In a real web environment, this is going to be running as a relatively unprivileged user who does not have write access to most things, but you can still generally read most things off of the file system as the normal, like Apache user. So you can read out etc password, you can read out Apache config files, PHP config files, source code, you know, basically whatever. So that's basically that.